Adam alayhi salam is the first youth by an example to be created. But after creating Adam, what Allah said, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, when Allah announced to the angels that He's going to create a Khalifa, a powerful vicegerent, a deputy, to be placed on earth to do His will, what did the angels tell Allah? أَتَجَعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. Are you going to place on the earth someone who is going to be cause of corruption, and at the same time that corruption is going to be cause of bloodshed on the earth? These are the challenges of the people, especially the youth. Your minds are corrupted. Your souls are corrupted. Your bodies are corrupted. A young girl was speaking here, and she was lamenting over the exposure of the feminine body in the Gambia, which has become a Fogajai phenomenon in the Gambia. The feminine body has become a Fogajai phenomenon in the Gambia. You see, women, let me tell you one thing. If you expose all the beauties in your body at your tender age, before you reach the age of maturity, nobody will look at you, because all the beauty will disappear as water evaporates when the heat of the sun is on it. Don't do it. Don't do it, I beg you. You don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to sell your body to the devil. You give yourself to Allah and to Muhammad and to your community. You can do that only and unless you live according to the principles of Allah. You are not a Fogajai, you are a human being. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. You are the most honorable being that Allah has created. You cannot take your body and make it into a Fogajai. Even the body bunkers are now tired with Fogajai. If you don't never, I'm never going to be in the never going to Java Kundam Kole. Never nobody will call it. So this is the problem. The first challenges of the youth is we are living in the 21st century, the century of the internet, and very, very fast technological developments. But we are not part of that making. We, the Gambian youths, we are not making part, we are not contributing to any technological advancement and development. We are mere consumers. That's why internet has become one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest causes of all the social problems that we are facing in the youthful community in the Gambia. So be very careful, you the youths. Your first challenge is corruption. And that corruption leads you automatically to bloodshed. This is why all the killings, statistically, that were mentioned in the Gambia, either discovered or undiscovered as a crime, all of them were committed by the youths, either female or male. All the past killings that we've been hearing, haunting the entire national mind, disturbing the entire social structures, even the security ones, were committed by the youth. Because you've been corrupted mentally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, and at the same time, even nutritionally. What you eat, you are corrupted by what you eat. Hanal kamin doma yal corrupt. Walakin nam bebe purande. Even momo kachata the next minute I fa. Iko amna bota kachala. Ani kura mo betama kan 1,000 years. Abetaka afata no meleka for na bota kachala. That man was a bomb, a disease. That man was filled with disease. So you are the youths who are supposed to correct that situation. You are the youths who are going to take charge of the national development, communal development, family development, personal development. Let's get an example of this school. A very tiny community. You can develop it. Not only coming in the morning, going into the classroom, listening to the teacher and taking notes. At the end of the day, exams is there, you pass and giving a certificate. No. This is why any education without the underpinnings of ethics. Latin the Gambia PhD don't let us sunyaro. Diploma buka sunyaro. Because Diko TJ. And then the mom will think you want to sunya. PhD in masters like a sunyaro. Amanke konka PhD le doya anka masters doya de. Because a detail anyami wala tinanko tubabu kan karamo mu fitinoleti bari tubabu londo mu ko kendoleti. Europe was built by tubabu knowledge, but Africa is underdeveloped by tubabu count. That's the difference between them. Tubabu londo and tubabu count mankele. Angale mete karandi fenda for good morning. How are you? Go there. Come there. After bende fala ni angale kambala mba fola jam fon tarata. Because my mind is working on two lanes when I'm speaking English. I'm observing the syntactical, the grammatical structures. And I'm using bombastic words so that I can impress the students. When I make mistake, but never account for any point of Mobuka. You see, it's a problem. Okay, look at Adam. Atajalu fiha man yufsidu fiha wa yafsiku dima. So be very careful. These are your first challenges. Because the lectures I want to give, I don't think time will allow me to go deeper into the entire aspect of what I want to present. So what I will do is, I will make it a crab walking lecture. This is what I'll do. Because there is no time. Otherwise, it's a very important lecture. But look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمْ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah says, I know what you do not know. So if you want to get what is called transcendental knowledge, knowledge that is beyond time, knowledge that is beyond the school, knowledge that is beyond your own time, you must go to Allah's source, that is the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad. This is why Allah says, this is why inni a'lam ma la ta'lamun. I know what you do not know. And to make sure that Allah to demonstrate to the angels that Allah says He knew what they don't know. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Adam was installed. Adam was taught. Adam was educated. Adam was naturally fed. Adam was given all the means of understanding and discerning and discovering, observing, imagining, experimenting, and concluding. Adam was given everything. Walatinda nalko tubabule londo suto ngontolo wonte malontol fon kata dad ite manke alati ite mantara talari dula ite kashi fon way kafu ala tubabule so londo la arabo so kodola ayete so minela ni si bo banga ni foka jay ayete so minela ite no mota adama le bal ite ka talaro ke fon way ala ka fay ko fay bi talaro to la no bang ita man talaro ita man sonde la do ko la kela because Allah Ibrahim Adam somebody Adam allama Adam al asma'a kullaha, all the attributes, all the essential ingredients of knowledge were put into Adam, and it was flowing in the blood of Adam, and I am part and parcel of Adam. As long as I am part and parcel of Adam, I am supposed to be an educated being to build this world. Parin tolte mol bunya la fonita ta tubabu du ye karamo kayena hadi momo karanta mo findu buka bunya. You know, there is mental slavery. Kill that mental slavery in yourself. So walakin ala jubeba ala ko wa allama adam al asma'a kullaha. Adam was taught with all the attributes, with all the, let me put it into simple English, with all the adjectives, with all the names were put into Adam. But if somebody asks you, how was Adam educated? Was there a classroom? Was there a teacher? And was there a subject? Or was there a syllabus or a curriculum? There was no classroom. There was no chalk. There was no blackboard. And there was not even a school. But Adam was educated. Walatin na follow to kebali kan karandi school kono imbukata school. Katitolmanta school. Because Adam did I found a baker konole. And this is when you go to biology advanced level of biology, what we call the genetic codes. And every genetic code, there is that power to know. Because وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Then he displayed all those things before the angels and asked them to inform, to give him the names of those things. Look at the superiority of man when man is given proper education. Look at the superiority of man. Youthful, you the youth, this is your first superiority power. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. What did he say? فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. He asked the angels to tell him the names and the attributes of those things. If at all what they said earlier, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَفْسِكُ الدِّمَاءِ is true. قَالُوا سُبْحَانَكَ لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَلِيمُ الْحَكِيمُ. Praise be to you. We have not knowledge except the knowledge you've given us, because you are the wise and you are the giver of all laws. So for the youth, your first challenge is corruption of your mind, the corruption of your soul, the corruption of your body, the corruption of your living condition, the corruption of your spiritual existence as a Muslim. Because we are living in a time, the greatest challenge for a youth is to live as a youth one, to live as a youth an African, to live as a youth as a Muslim, and to live as a youth as a third world person. These are the 3 or 4 dimensions of problems in our societies. But look at it. Funding Kiru, Allah Sembo, Womu Londo Damalet. Londo Dama, Walatina ala Dubai Minke, wa Allama Adam al Asma Akulla, I Alama Karandi Fango Belela. Ayaka jato kono ayaka yelo kono abina belo na lakato afele adama dingol tata before nde fele mbe diamu ka microphone wala wakante la kumo warandi mol fele kan natal dunia bebe njube ka at the same time londo le wono bri adama alaya dada ay londo sababo beke adama jato kono la amadi tubabo damal aya dite gambe wol parita tata foga jay wafo la tubabo tata karaw. Foga yo ka tubabo famale tubabo dendi kamen dum fa badata bul foga jay is a conspiracy foga jayo mu jamfalati asolo nimmo ka foga jayo tabake akadum o maribuka hamosu to nata fansun dendi ko deda foga jay is a conspiracy. I hate it and I must say that I hate it. Foga jay ni moto ko tol be mu jamfalati ni dia wala tina gambe mo be buka wori na moto so na foga ye momo je silo kan dendi ka mulun jawo ba bala foga jaya bondi wala dendi ka furi ni muso bente buka jube no asante foga jay dula dendi ko mi ka sam wandala ti o mu dendi kale foga jay is a conspiracy. Let's use our mind tubabo mam bay fay dula le so ta ya ditel dol badi mun kolle folo yana ti je ma jam fanam buri kala sa. So ku follow mo minti funding kel pour allié do ko ke allondo nyini bari ma fo londo min ka soto kayti ken sangola nkole londo min ka kayto bunyandi, because it is the certificate you yourself, you the youth, you give the certificate a value. It is not vice versa. Kana son certificate wa value dealer ni wakati ka kuriyal. You must make sure that you learn properly. You must make sure that you do your research properly. You must make sure that you study properly so that you can achieve a very high constructive level of knowledge. A knowledge that is not going to be limited to yourself alone, but a knowledge that is going to be instrumental in changing your society, your family, and your nation. This is your first responsibility. You see, social media, name it, especially the women folk, the girls. What benefits do you have from social media? I think you know that your mobile has a limited megabytes. It uses limited megabytes, isn't it? Yes. And you know that a mobile itself has a lifespan, a limited lifespan. A mobile after 5 years become an old mobile, isn't it? Because the Europeans, we are consumers. The Europeans, in every minute, they are developing a new mobile system. Isn't it? So you are not contributing anything to social media. And look at the beautiful name, social media, for social interaction. But what are you putting into social media? And what are you getting out of social media? Ask yourself. The Gambian youth or the Gambian community and society, there are three things that we are very good in doing with social media: backbiting, rumor mongering, and copying what other people are doing. Koma kumari furimo, aninka kwibari kuntangol janjang, aniye musoje aye pare wala kambano aye pare kawa kuwa ke the next day Gambian kambano fana ye nyungwa. Ngo hani beyangol buka beyangol copy andele man yankumo jaka wulo manya copy yankuma buka wulo copy wulo ka manya leke yankumo ka manya leke wala tina ni yankumo lafta wulo silandila ka fon warandila ko wulo kanta nyami wulo yaje ka fana waratale para buka fon doyandi ka fon ke nyam wulo e kundi ngoti wulo ba do molale. Pariti e fon ke social media atolu mondo ti benna kidi mondo ibe do molale. So this is a problem. Social media is a big problem. Look, let me tell it on a very serious note. As long as we are unable to manage, to control, and to direct the contents of social media for our youth, never sit down and entertain that one day our societies will develop. We will always be slaves, not only even slaves, but slaves of slaves. So this is a big challenge for you. Go to the Holy Quran. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Adam was taught all the values of everything in this world. And you are from Adam. And Adam was the first Muslim. And you are a Muslim. And Muhammad ﷺ is the messenger. The book of the Quran, verse number 9, in Surah Al-Isra, the night journey, إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ يَحْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. The best guidance is this Holy Quran. But all the buts, all the defects, all the disease, all the negatives, all the minors are existing in our midst. What is the cause? Because we don't identify the challenges and we don't know the causes, we will never be able to prescribe the solutions. Is it time? Time? Well, anyway, time has come. It's very short, but anyway, to just brush everything and put it in one crucible or in one time. You know, yeah, it's good. Sometimes it's good to be very brief. Sometimes it's good to be very brief because even 10 hours is not good. It's not sufficient for me. But what I should say is for the youth, make sure that you understand your culture very properly. Gambian youth, nko alalla ado long kendek. You see, problem we are living in a time called a generation cultural warfare. Momo la chosano kanatela dorong itebe kala nyeret yemem bondi jiokon. The Gambian culture is lost. The Gambian culture is dead because the Gambian youth are infected with a culture called the non-cultural culture, a culture that is called the global culture. There is nothing called a global culture. There is something called a social culture, no global culture. Global culture is another name for domination, transgression, oppression, psychological control, and mind control. So Latin, alal hakilo tubake, ila adolong kendaki anila chosano, ila kunun know your history yesterday, what your people did. They will tell you that Mungo Park discovered the River Nile. They will tell you that Armstrong was the first person to go there. They will tell you that Wilberforce was the first person to stand against slavery. All these are hooks. All these are fabrications. It was your own great-grandfathers who did everything for you. All the history that we've been taught in the classrooms are just bogus history. Yal karani fon fe na man correct. Hani teacher bi janne mba fule. Abe man correct. Kato teacher min ke karandi o teacher man wo buko safe. Ya diala le kaye karandala. It's bogus. It's not true. The only book that is defined as the best of books is the Holy Quran. Yani ahsan al-qasas, the best of narrations. Authentic, infallible.